Hello, class, and hope you enjoyed reading chapter one, all about HR management and gaining that competitive advantage. The chapter introduced the roles and activities of a company, organization's HR management function, and it really emphasized that effective management of HR can really contribute to a company's business strategy and competitive advantage. And as the book describes, HR can be viewed as having three different product lines or services, if you will. First are administrative services, second are business partner services, and then strategic services. Those are kind of the three main things. Administrative services, are kind of what you would expect. It's more the administrative aspects. It's things like helping you fill out your benefit forms, helping post a job, for recruitment, filling out a performance review form, things more the paperwork types of things, and the book does a good job of kind of explaining to you some of the other administrative services. I think what's incredibly important is the business partner aspect. That's, in my HR career, that's when I spend a lot of my time is overseeing the business partner unit, especially at a couple of the universities that I've worked at. And overseeing that aspect, as the book describes, is about helping departments think through difficult decisions. Every now and then employee discipline is something that we have to consider. So the business partner services help departments work through that kind of process. They also help think about the long-term life cycle of an employee. From posting a job to the recruitment aspect to hiring, and then onboarding and all that. And we'll talk about that in future classes. But again, the book does a good job of talking about the different partner aspects of it. And then finally, we talked about some of the strategic services, especially as you get higher and higher into the different levels of HR, the profession. Directors and vice presidents are really thinking about the long-term strategy that HR provides. Some of the things that how do we manage our workforce over the next 5 to 10 years? How do we look at things like planning for retirement? In a lot of organizations, the workforce is aging, and a lot of people are going to be entering retirement. And so how does a company think about 5, 10 years from now? How are they going to replace maybe half their staff at a lot of times? So those things are really, really critical. So, HR management practices should be evidence-based, as the book describes it. It's based on data showing the relationship between practice and business outcomes related to key company stakeholders. And, we talk about different stakeholders being, everybody's part of the organization, the employees, the recruits, retirees. It really encompasses, everybody who's part of the whole organizational cycle. In addition to contributing to a company's business strategy, HR practices are important for helping companies deal with environmental, social, and governance challenges. And your book does a good job of talking about different things, with the external environment, the legal environment, the social changes that HR has brought about, and then how do we govern it all? These challenges are related kind of to our overall business economy, that have a direct impact on the labor force itself, and trying to meet these stakeholder needs through ethical practices that we encounter, through the quality of the products that we work at, the different social responsibility. And again, especially in the middle part of this chapter, the book really does a good job of explaining that. And then towards the end, we start talking about the different global challenges, entering international markets, immigration, offshoring, things along those lines. I think the book does a really good job of talking about for HR purposes, the five kind of topical areas, which is HR environment, so strategic HR, legal, all of that. Acquisition and preparation, so kind of onboarding and hiring, and that's going to be going in the next couple of chapters. Then we're going to be talking about assessment and development of training, so performance management, talent development, things along those lines. Compensation, of course, we all work to get paid, at least most of us do, so there's a topic coming about. And then the special topics towards the end of the class, about collective bargaining, labor relations, and things along those lines. So those are kind of the main highlights. And again, those are the things I hope that you focused on as you were reading, the different services, administrative services, business partner services, and strategic services that HR offers. And then kind of looking at the different functional areas. And again, the book kind of does a good overview of that. But again, look at the ethical and social and governance aspects of the environment. And those are what we're going to spend a lot of our time discussing. So again, chapter one, just kind of a good overview of the main topics we're going to be discussing. But again, those are the things that I hope you really focus on. And those are what will be, kind of the same theme that'll be going on throughout the semester. So hope you enjoyed chapter one, everyone, and we'll see you next week.